Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Marathon QuickStops Eddie Spradlen Show, where we cover everything inside of Burley Stadium with the Greeneville Green Devils. As always, I'm here with Green Devils head coach Eddie Spradlen in a different location this week. Not quite inside of Burley Stadium, but still inside the facilities.
Yeah, here in the media room, much improved for us. It's been very beneficial. Still making some additions, but it's nice to have for sure.
I remember you taking me through a tour of the facilities last year, and I think last year you said that you had some new additions. Have there been any new additions since the last time I've stepped foot inside of here?
Added some TVs over on there, and we've upped our nutrition area over here and made it a little more user-friendly for sure.
I enjoy it. I think we came in here last year too, I think right at the end of the season in the playoffs. Hopefully we'll still be talking that deep into the playoffs and come here and do another one, but the reason we stepped inside this week is you had your boys out there practicing on the field, and I couldn't make the joke this week, but it's finally feeling like fall outside.
Yeah, for sure. A little air, cool in the air for sure, and we're getting our weightlifting going this afternoon, and we'll be in and out of that weight room before we practice today.
And you had a great game on Friday night also. We'll jump right into that. Big win over Grainger, 69-0 up there in Rutledge. Explosive night on offense. You had not only just a great night from Carson Quillen and Caden Ball, as we usually talk about, but you spread the ball around a lot too. Spread the wealth out, had a few players that we haven't talked about yet get in the end zone or pass to a touchdown. Talk about how great of a night it was and how you were able to explore some new things on offense.
Yeah, it was a really good night, a really good overall team effort. We played good in all phases of the game, and we're able to get some punt return yards and kickoff return yards, which is good as well. And we continue to get better on offense and defense. But like you said, on offense, we were able to get the ball to a lot of different people. It started with how hard Carson was running the football. We're able to hit him on the first play down the sideline for a touchdown pass. Everybody, we've been getting it to Zay out there on the edge, and they attacked that hard, and we just threw it over the top of them, which was, just makes people be a little more honest out there on the edge, trying to be super aggressive with getting Zay the quick stuff. So, we were able to get a lot of guys in the end zone. Carson had another big night. Caden ran the football a couple times for some big yards. Then Jariah got in the end zone on a big run and catch. And then Zay had some big catch, and then he had a really good run on some jet sweep stuff. So able to spread the football out really well on Friday.
We come in here each week, and I love talking. Thursday. I forget that it was another Thursday night game this past week. We always sit down and talk about Caden Ball and Carson Quillen and want to go through their stat lines. Caden Ball had 83 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 136 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Carson Quillen, 126 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns with 1 reception for 34 yards, which resulted in a receiving touchdown. The 2 names that I kind of alluded to that passed for touchdowns that we hadn't talked a lot about. We've mentioned Kane Ricker a few times. He's got into the games a few times in the second halves and passed for a few touchdowns, but you also got a touchdown from Parker Quillen in the game on Thursday night too. So you take Caden out after a great first half, you throw those guys in the second half and allow them to get some valuable playing time against a big region opponent. So how key was that to be able to boost their confidence with those plays?
Yeah, those guys got to be ready to go at any time for sure. Kane's stepped in there and playing a lot of receiver for us, but at the same time, he's got to be the next guy up at quarterback. So anytime we can get him some good quality reps, we try to get him some reps. And then there in the fourth quarter, the clock's running fast, so it's going fast. So you're not able to get a lot of guys a ton of reps, but we're able to get Parker in there for a drive at quarterback as well.
How lethal is it having Jariah Griffin on the team now? I know that we didn't mention him whenever he first transferred in and was eligible to play. We've talked about him scoring before. We talked about him scoring again this week, but we haven't really touched on how key of an asset he's been to your offense so far. How key of an asset has he been since he's joined the Green Devil squad?
He's another guy that's explosive, can take it to the zone anytime he touches it. Just like the other night, he touched it like 3 times, I think, and had 2 touchdowns. So, it just makes people be a little more honest. You can't try to, it makes us be able to get the football to different people, and you got to play more sound defense and just trying to send everybody all the time, because hopefully we beat you with one of those guys somehow and get those guys in the end zone. obviously he's going to start with Carson, and Caden did a good job the other night. We've not run him a couple games where he was banged up a little, and they were crashing hard on Carson, and he pulled it, made 2 really good runs. I think Carson had 120-something yards rushing on like 5 or 6 carries, and Caden's got 130-something on like 3 carries. So those guys are explosive when they get the football in their hands, and then we're able to get it to, like you said, Dry out there on the edge, and Zayden getting him the football as well.
And then Colt Smith, he got into the end zone on a receiving touchdown also. There's a lot of offensive players to talk about this week.
Yeah.
We mentioned how you spread the wealth out, and if we miss any, we apologize, but it wasn't big offensive nights from Carson Quillen and Caden Ball like we'd seen the past few weeks, where they combined for 8 touchdowns, whether it be Caden passing to Carson or handing it off to him. Either which way, you didn't really get that this week. You spread the wealth out a lot. So you got Colton Smith in the end zone. You got Zayden Anderson in the end zone. Dry Griffin, as we mentioned, Kane Ricker and Parker Quillen passing touchdowns, and then Caden Ball and Carson Quillen with their multitude of receiving, passing, and rushing touchdowns. So looked like you got 7 different players that attributed for touchdowns on Thursday night. We're going into the deep stretch now. You've got the most important games left on your schedule. You've got Northview coming up soon. You've got Elizabethton coming up soon. And then we enter the playoffs. So you're getting more names involved now. Is that your plan going down the stretch, is kind of building just a team where anybody can get the ball going down the stretch, where these teams go into the playoffs knowing that they can't just key in on one player?
Yeah, we just don't want to be able to just survive with just Carson running every play, and we're too explosive out on the edge. So it's going to start with Carson for sure. Run the football, and hats off to our offensive line's done a great job in all these wins. And last Thursday did a great job coming off the football against a good Grainger defensive line, and did a really good job blocking. And it's got to continue to do that. And the more people we can get involved, the more explosive we're going to be on offense.
I hate to put them in the back half, but when you win a game 69-0, I feel like you have to talk about the offense first. But the other part of that score is the nothing, and that's the nothing that the defense allowed. Another shutout this season. I think this is the 3rd shutout that your defense has pitched all season. You had a few key defensive plays too. Not only did you pitch a shutout, but you had a pick 6 by Taryn Clarity. Maddox Bishop, you mentioned, had a terrific night with 5 tackles, and then Elijah Dabney creeped up there and had 5 tackles also to lead him in the solo category. Your defense, another great night. We talk about them week in and week out. I don't know the averages of points allowed, yards allowed, and such like that, but terrific year by the defense so far, and they had another staple game on Thursday night.
Yeah, just playing hard and getting to the football. If you can do that, good things are going to happen. We were had a really good run back that big physical kid, and the quarterback is a really good player who runs the football good as well. But we were able to contain them, and didn't get many first downs on our starting group, but it was a good challenge for us, and we continue to get better. We're getting a lot of guys involved as well on defense, and the more that we can get in there, the better. Still trying to find what that best 11 is. There's still a couple guys working to be who that starter is at certain positions, moving a guy here or there just to make us the best 11 football players we can be at a time. And it's going to vary from down and distance to what the offense is trying to do against us. So really excited about all those guys playing right now. We're able to get 3 more turnovers the other night. Zayden Anderson got a big another big interception, as well as we were able to get a forced fumble and fumble recovery. So it was a good effort by our defense. And like you said, there's a lot of guys. We didn't play a defensive starter in the second half, so there were a lot of young guys played against their starting offense. So it was good for those guys to get quality reps.
I mentioned 7 touchdown scores. I guess you could say 8 with Taryn Clarity, even though it was on the defensive end. But great night overall. 69-0 victory over Grainger on a Thursday night. That moves your Region 1 4A record to 3-0 now, I believe. Is that correct? Or
yeah, I think that's correct.
I think so too. Cherokee, Grainger. I guess it's 2-0 at the moment.
Sullivan East.
Sullivan East, you're right. Yeah. Sullivan East the week before. So 3-0 at the moment. Going into the back half of your season now. Well, I guess we're already in the back half, but don't have many games left. But you do have the important games coming up with Northview and Elizabethton. But I believe you were on the bye week this week. So get to kind of relax a little bit, get to chill, don't have nothing to do on Friday night. Got any Friday night plans?
I'm probably go watch a game somewhere.
That's what I figured. You'd probably go scout somewhere. But before we talk about the bye week too much, we need to get a break in here first. So we'll get a word from our sponsors, and we'll talk about what the Green Devils plan on doing during this bye week here on Grassroots Media.
Pizza, pancakes, or donuts, the Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Marathon QuickStops Eddie Spradlen Show, where we cover everything inside of Burley Stadium with the Greeneville Green Devils football team. As always, I'm joined here with Green Devils head coach Eddie Spradlen. So we mentioned it right before the commercial break. Get to relax a little bit. It's the bye week. You're to the point now where you've only got 2 games left on the schedule. You've got Northview and you've got Elizabethton coming up in that order. You've got both of them here at home. So I believe you're done traveling for the season until a deep playoff run, until that comes to fruition. So what do you plan on doing in the bye week this week? Working on yourselves a little bit? Are you looking ahead to Northview and Elizabeth, kind of working on those things a little bit? What's your plans during the bye week?
First off, we were able to we played on Thursday night. We were able to give our kids, Friday, the weekend, and yesterday off. They didn't have school yesterday. So a nice little break for my coaches as well. Took my family, did a little something over the weekend, enjoyed that. And but we're back in school today and we're ready to work. We're gonna grind 4 days hard in the weight room this week. Then we'll practice 3 days. We'll practice tomorrow or today, tomorrow, and Thursday morning, and then but we'll really lift hard for the next 4 days and in the week with the hard conditioning stuff on Friday before we leave out of here. But really working on ourselves. Obviously we're going to work on things that we need to improve on to be able to beat Elizabethton and Northview the next 2 weeks. But we're going to try to get everybody as healthy as we can get, and we're going to try to continue to do the little things that has made us get to the point that we're at, and really focus in on the basics and a lot of group work during practice. Be some shorter practices this week. Just really focus on one side of the ball a day, and then enjoy a couple more days off, then be ready to go next Monday.
I had a loss of thoughts before we went to that commercial break. You're 3-0 in the region now. I don't know how I forgot that Sullivan East game, but you're coming down to Northview and Elizabethton. You control your own destiny. That's what we talked about in the first interview we did back in August during the preview interview, is that you want to be Region 1 4A champs at the end of the season. Well, you've worked all summer. You've worked all year up to this point. This is when it can come to fruition. You've got Northview up next here at home, and then you've got Elizabethton at home in that big game on Thursday night on Halloween, another Thursday night game this year. That's crazy to think about. You've had how many? 3 Thursday night games?
Well, no, that one's got moved to Friday. So
okay, did it get moved to Friday?
Yeah, it'll be on a Friday.
Okay, and you've got those 2 big games left, so you control your own destiny at the end of the season. What's the vibe like in the locker room right now, knowing that all that hard work towards the goal that you wanted to meet at the end of the season is right there in front of you?
That's like you said, that's been our goal from the get-go, and everything that we've wanted to achieve as a football team is still in front of us. We're blessed with the opportunity to compete for Region 1 4A championship. If we can take care of business next 2 Fridays, we'll have that opportunity. And then it gets down to once you get to the playoff, everybody's got the same goal. Everybody wants to win a state championship. But we're going to focus on that region championship first. These next 2 games will be 1-0 every week, and continue. Hopefully, we need to be better, next week than we are right now. So we got to have a really good week of practice. I told them it's not an off week in the weight room. It's not an off week at practice. We got to get us better. We're not as the best football team we can be. By the time we get to these 2 next games, we got to be at our best.
It's the most exciting time of the year. I think this is the most excited that I've been for Greeneville football, knowing that these are the ones that matter the most. These are the ones that allow you to be able to say you're Region 1 4A champs at the end of the season. You've got the ones out of the way with Cherokee, Grainger, and Sullivan East. You've got the chance to beat Elizabeth and Northview now, to once again say you're Region 1 4A champs for 4 years in a row, and to have those seniors walk off this field one last time saying that they never played a single year without being Region 1 4A champs. And I know for those seniors that would be the best feeling, knowing that they won a region championship every single year that they played football in a Greeneville uniform.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's their ultimate goal. They want to be region champs and, go through here. For a long time, nobody knew any different. We were region champs every year, and it didn't matter. And then we lost it there for a couple of years, and then we got back the past 3. So we want to continue to stay on top, and it'll be a big-time challenge the next 2 weeks, but something we're looking forward to.
Absolutely. Look forward to sitting down here next week, too. But I don't think there's anything else unless you'd like to add.
No, looking forward to this this little grind right here as a football team. So many people are off week. They just give a lot of time off. We're going to enjoy some time off, but at the same time, it's an opportunity to get better, and we're going to make the most of it.
Doing a little scouting this week, too?
Might try to.
Might try to. We don't want to reveal where you'll be, though. But that's all we've got this week, Coach. Appreciate you once again.
Go Devils.
Thank you all once again for watching this week's edition of the Marathon Quick Stops Eddie Spradlen Show. Look forward to seeing y'all next time here on Grassroots Media.